What's going on, y'all? This is another one of the top decks in the standard 2022 queue. It is Mono Green Aggro. We got two new cards from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms that are extremely good in Mono Green. Those are Werewolf Pack Leader and Ranger class. Werewolf Pack Leader is a 2-mana 3/3, great stats for cost. When you get a Pack Tactics trigger, you get to draw a card, and for 4 mana, it doesn't come up too often in Constructed, but for 4 mana you can turn it into a 5/3 with Trample, and loses human, but that's almost never relevant. But it can, for 4 mana, you can get a bit more damage through, or help it trigger its own Pack Tactics to draw cards. Very solid card. 2 mana, great size, gets cards in mono green. Absolutely delightful. And Ranger class, another card that's 2 mana and gets disgusting amount of advantage. So when it comes down, you get a 2/2 token, standard 2-drop, then 2 level it up for 2 mana. At sorcery speed, whenever you attack, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on one of your attacking creatures. Basically, Luminarch Aspirant, you get to grow a creature every single turn, because we always want to be attacking, because this is an aggro deck. And then for 4, you can cast creatures from the top of your library, which is also very powerful card advantage. So we get 2 pretty strong card advantage engines here as our 2-drops, which also make bodies. It's pretty insane. The rest of the deck has been seen before. Those are the only new cards. Blizzard Brawl is one of the best removal spells in the format, as it is 1 mana. In mono green, we almost always have a creature big enough to kill whatever we want to, and we're running Snow anyway for Faceless Haven, so this gives our creature indestructible, and then it fights another creature, basically kills it. Pretty strong card. That's the only removal we're running. Some people run Inscription of Abundance. I find that we don't need that much removal. I'd rather just have more creatures that we can cast off the top with Ranger class and always have a threat ready and available. That said, I've got 2 1-drop creatures, well, 8, but 2 different ones. Despair Sentinel for mana, Swarm Shambler for +1/+1 counter synergies. We do a lot of counters with Ranger class and stuff like that. Also, Snakeskin Veil gives a +1/+1 counter and saves you from a removal spell. Sometimes this is just a combat trick to win in combat, but it's in the deck to save from removal spells. Good 3-drops, Old Growth Troll, 3 mana 4/4, good stats for cost, has resiliency and trample, comes back as an enchantment, then you can sacrifice that land to make another 4/4 trample. Pretty strong card. Goes on to Mammoth, helps the mana consistency as it is also a land, and is a 3 mana 3/3, which can also be a 5/5 sometimes. Decent stats for cost. Green is, of course, all about stats for cost. We've got a bit of a variety in our 4-drops. Some people just run 4 chariots. I don't particularly like that strategy. I don't like having too many of a single legendary in any deck, so we've just got 2 here. It is a very strong card, don't get me wrong. We've seen this before. It's played all over the place, and Toski as well. Gnarled Professor you don't see as much. It's just a 4 mana 5/4 Trampler that gets you access to the learn board. Just straight up value. Nothing too unexpected in the learn board. Sciences, Conjuration in case we really want a big creature, Mascot Exhibitions, stuff like that. And then the top end, Froghemoth is just for fun. It's Trample Haste 4/4, not quite as good stats as most of the other cards we're running since it is a 5-drop. But when it deals combat damage to a player, you get to exile their graveyard, and sometimes you get to put a lot of +1/+1 counters on it and gain life. It's a cool new card, but it's definitely not central to the deck. You could cut this if you don't want to craft it. I just think it's kind of fun. Frogs are cool. We've got 1 Vorinclex. I find Vorinclex is very helpful in the Ranger class mirrors, because it shuts down your opponents putting 1 +1/+1 counter on things all the time, and it's pretty decent against control decks, being a 6/6 Trample Haster. So they tap out to sweep your board, you come down with Vorinclex, and they die. And let's see. Creature lands, I've got 2 Layers of the Hydra, 2 Faceless Havens. I don't really want to run more than that, because we have a lot of green mana symbols, so we don't want that many colorless lands. If we look here, our only early plays that have generic mana are Ranger class and Kazandu Mammoth. Everything else is all green. So having too many colorless sources hurts that, and also we don't want too many non-snow sources. Layer of the Hydra, of course, is not snow, because then our Blizzard Brawl might not be turned on. and usually 4 man lands is enough to consistently have one when you need one, I find. That is the deck. Let's go try it out. Yeah, this hand is pretty good. We'll find more land eventually. Don't have anything to immediately take advantage of the Sentinel. Let's go with the Pack Leader or the Rangers class because it's more danger faster, or damage rather. Alright, that's strange. Here I think we just get the Rangers class down instead of denying our attack to go for a troll. So we're going to attack all. Jumps. Very interesting. Okay, there's our land. If we do Toski here, we only get to draw 1 card, which if we don't do Toski, we also get to draw 1 card because Pack Leader triggers. I think what we want to do here is troll, or we could power up this Rangers class and play the other one, but then we don't get the draw from the Pack Leader. So I'm going to try and get the Pack Tactics trigger, which we do. And our opponent does nothing. Here's a troll. Okay. Only punish here is Shadow's Verdict, but it would be strange to run that card with the Innkeeper. And they need another black land to do that anyway, which they don't have. Another Innkeeper. Let's see, do we have lethal if we brawl this Innkeeper? Let's see, we get 4, 8, yes, it's exactly, assuming they have nothing. Because now we have 11 power, then we power up the Rangers class, and all in, and that's 12, and that's game. Not sure what our opponent's Sultai Ramp is trying to do, but they got run over. It'll happen. That's what we're trying to do here. Not the best curve, but it is a curve, so I'll take it. With 2 creature lands, it'll be a while before these Blizzard Brawls are really good. Looks like a mirror. Could be on something else though. Despair Sentinel's good in lots of decks. Though the Gnawbone Sleeves is probably a mono green mirror. Okay, here probably just want to Shambler power up class. Probably should have played the Lair last turn to get the untapped land, but Blizzard Brawl is really good in this matchup, so I want to get the snow sources. They have something open. Lair of the Hydra holds priority, no matter what, as long as you have green open, so they might not have anything here. I want to save the Blizzard Brawl for more threatening things. It's good to develop our board. Another Sentinel. And troll. Okay, there's the other snow source, so rewarded. And we can brawl through this troll and power up our Shambler. Or we can power up our Ranger's class and just trade with the troll. I think we want the troll off the board though. I guess we can attack first and see if they trade. So that trade's fine for us. We just want it gone so they can't use it to brawl our creatures. So we'll attack first. See if they want to trade. Because we can use our mana more efficiently if they trade, and then we can power up our class instead of wasting mana on the brawl. If they do trade, they get the death trigger, so it ramps them a little bit. And we'll go for this. Unfortunately, we're going to draw that werewolf, but might find something else. Ranger's class. Toski's not great here, as it doesn't stop their chariot. So, also Blizzard Brawl doesn't stop the chariot because it's sorcery speed. You'd have to power it up. We can werewolf and kill 2 of their tokens, but they can still power up the chariot, and it would attack as a 5/5. I think we're in a pretty bad spot here. Alright, let's just use our cards efficiently. If we get Vorinclex down, we should be able to get through the chariot, as their +1/+1 counters won't work anymore. And the way we get Vorinclex down is by finding the next untapped land off our library. I think that's our best out at this point. That is a lot of damage coming in. Toski can block the chariot, of course. Luckily, we don't have anything in our graveyard to grow the Froghemoth. Just block there and take 8. Need that land. Not going to find it though. Now we can werewolf and brawl through the frog at least. And we can get through the untapped token as well, so our Toski gets in. Might find us a land. Do we need to hold back this Swarm Shambler to chump? Let's see. No, the most I see is 9 from them. Buff up our indestructible Toski. Draw 2. There's a land. Alright, we might get to Vorinclex after all. I guess holding back this Shambler does threaten the triple block if they Ranger's class level up and then attack with Chariot. But 3/3 means they can't attack with anything else unless they remove it with Blizzard Brawl or possibly the Inscription. Yeah, it's the Inscription. And they crew the Chariot with the damaged one and get in for a lot. here are we jumping? Yeah, we don't want to take 10. Though, it's only going to be 4. Yeah, I guess they didn't realize this Swarm Shambler entered the battlefield this turn. So we can't turn it into a 2-2. Second Ranger class. They are very wide. Do we need to get the Vorinclex down now? Yes, because their best play is probably double power up Ranger class. And Vorinclex totally shuts that down. Well, we can't cast the Chariot off the top because it's not a creature. So we'll hold back the Shamblers. We have to attack with Toski. See if they want to throw a 2-2 under the bus here. They do not. So we get the option of our own Chariot. I think that will be better if we have Vorinclex down. As a 6/6, it currently blocks everything. They would need 2 removal spells to get through it. Inscription doesn't work because they don't get the second counter from it. Death Toucher is a bit of a problem, though. Need a removal spell to deal with that. Okay, levels up their Ranger class, that's fine. Okay, now we're cooking. Definitely not attacking with Vorinclex into their Death Toucher. Probably playing this Troll off the top. I guess we should do that before we attack with Toski in case they don't block. It's probably what we're doing here is this Troll and our own Chariot. I think the Chariot's better than the second Troll. Too late now anyway. Now this gets 2 counters on Toski. Get a somewhat larger threat. And of course, it's still indestructible. Very relevant in this matchup. Mono green does not have ways to deal with indestructible creatures. Other than just being bigger. Okay, Pack Leader's also pretty good. We can grow our Swarm Shamblers. Or we can get our Chariot down. Tough decision. We don't really want to attack with our Chariot anyway. Even if it's a 6/6, they'll just throw some tokens in front of it. But the Chariot's also very effective for going wide. But let's use our card advantage engine. It's the main thing we have over our opponent here. And then we can grow both these Shamblers to build an Iron Wall they'll never get through. That's going to be the plan. Though now with the Mammoth, they only need 1 removal spell to get through Vorinclex, if they also have a land drop to go with it. But they use their land drop without a removal spell. Okay, power up our Shamblers. I think that's probably a mistake on the opponent's part to not hold that land. Okay, just keep playing from the top of our deck. Use the cards when we can. Old Growth Troll attacking here just trades. I think we just press our indestructible advantage and try to gum up the board otherwise. It's a 7/7, they're going to have to start blocking it eventually. Not this turn, though. Okay, Blizzard Brawl can be helpful. So if our plan is to block them forever, the best way to do that is to play the other Sentinel and a Chariot. So that's what we'll do. Then with that Blizzard Brawl, we should be able to just get through. I think our board's bigger that we can get 3 damage in. Unless they pull some good stuff from the top of their library this turn. Especially since we also have the Froghemoth as a trample haste threat. Second Chariot for more blockers, sure. Alright. So let's see, how many blockers do they have? Can we get through this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if everything's at least a 3 plus the Tramplers from Foreign Klex and Old Growth Troll and Froghemoth, we should be okay, especially since we can get through the highest toughness blocker here with a Blizzard Brawl. I think if we're going for lethal, that's more effective than killing the Blightblade. So let's go for it. Vorinclex kills 4/4. Though, they should probably just crew their Chariot with that 4/4. Nope, they do not. Is there any case for using Faceless Haven instead of Froghemoth here? I don't think so, as Froghemoth has Trample. Okay, so 7/7 Trampler, 4/4 Trampler. Get damage through, another 4/4. I think we've got lethal. I'll put a counter on a Trampler. And we get to use the Snakeskin Veil because we draw it from the pack leader. Also, the Snakeskin Veil alone is lethal because we have one more attacker than they have blockers. And that will turn even our 1/2 Sentinels into 3/4s. Yep. Our opponent doesn't even bother to wait and see the damage. They know they're done. Okay, Vorinclex did a lot of work in the last game, so we'll keep him here. 3 Snowlands, good for Blizzard Brawl. No 1-drop, but Werewolf Pack Leader plus these 2 cards should be good enough. Opponent on some sort of Gruul, perhaps. Yep, does appear to be Gruul. Let's get the Faceless Haven down so we can attack with it next turn if necessary. And let's kill the Sentinel. Oh, have they got something? Nope. Stop the Sentinel so they don't have the mana for this turn to do everything they want to. So since they have the Rangers class, they will be getting the advantage. But we can draw with pack tactics here. If they have Frostbite, which is what I suspect it is, they don't have 3 snow sources, so we're good. In the Ranger class mirror is exactly where I want Vorinclex. Still no 3rd snow source, but Essica's Chariot shuts down our pack leader. Unless we want to trade the pack leader and a Snakeskin Veil for it. Which I think is fine. Although, if they kill the Faceless Haven, then we can't Vorinclex next turn. We can Snakeskin Veil and activate this ability, so we can still get damage through and draw the card. I think that's going to be the play. Just let them Chariot, and hopefully they tap all their creatures and Vorinclex can bring us home. Down to 8. Magda, do they have something else to crew the Chariot? If they do, we're in a bad spot. If they have to tap their 4/4, then we're not so bad. 2/2, Chariot becomes a 5/5. So we can't attack with Vorinclex just yet. But once again, it should stop all of their attacks. There's their 3rd snow source, so if they can Blizzard Brawl with the Chariot, they will get us. No Blizzard Brawl. And no counter. They might just plan to trade the Chariot and a Frostbite. But we can't do anything about that. Yeah. Yeah, being the one without the Rangers class, we were behind this whole game and drew an astonishing amount of land. I will do it. Alright, nothing to do on turn 2, but can't throw it back. It's good enough. Astro the Fallen's annoying as we can't brawl it. I might just block with the Sentinel. Maybe they'll be afraid of a Snakeskin Veil and not attack here. Nope. Well, we can't take that much damage, as they already have 5 power on board on turn 2, so I think trading here is fine. 3/3 should shut down some of their attacks, unless they have Skyclave Apparition. Okay, on a white ramp, let's go. They don't have the land though, that's nice. Alright, so Toski seems good here. Also bad if they have a Skyclave app, but what are you gonna do? On the other hand, we could Rangers class and power up Rangers class. Actually, that seems better, because then they have to block with all 3 of their creatures if they want to kill the mammoth, as opposed to 2. We probably don't get to draw off the Toski anyway. And if they have Skyclave Apparition, which is very likely, it feels better if they hit the Rangers class than the Toski, because we still get the 2/2. Yep, just a jump, it's fine. Yep, Skyclave Apparition, as promised. We can brawl that here, though that's probably less good than playing Professor. If we're going to play the Professor, there's no need to do it pre-combat. We can see how they block. If we play Toski, they'll probably just trade the Warhound for the token. I don't think using our whole turn here to brawl is very good, especially since next turn we can make our other 4-drop and brawl. So let's attack. Gotta get that Rangers class value every single turn. Now they're going to need another Skyclave Apparition to deal with this. What are we doing here? I think let's just get Sciences. Land means we can use the level 3 of Rangers class more effectively. Right, Portable Hole takes out the class. We still have the biggest creature on board though. Right, Sky Maul changes that, but we can get rid of that with a Blizzard Brawl. This guarantees that we get a draw off Toski this turn, because the Professor will get in. I'm happy to trade into 3/3s or get the card. Also, this is 9 damage, they've got to be wary of that. So they should block something. Yeah, that trade is probably what I would do here. One card, Facial Savin, not too bad. Ordain, short, doesn't stop the 5/4 very effectively. Does stop my Lair of the Hide, my Faceless Haven from coming in untapped, but we can Ranger class and power up, which seems pretty good. And then we'd also cast Sciences for the last 2 mana, so we should play the Faceless Haven this turn anyway, so we can attack next turn. And power up. Go to combat. All attack. Let's buff the Professor. Toski, even if it's a 2/2, they could just stop with Redain. Take 6, draw a card. Werewolf Pack Leader is better than Sciences here. Good, holding that for post-combat. And from 5, with Faceless Haven on board, I don't think there's anything our opponent can do here. But we'll see. Who knows what surprises they have. Yeah, Legion Angel's not going to do it. It is a very good threat, but it's a bit late for that. So, power this up. We'll save the lair, just in case. We get get to draw off the pack leader here. Let's keep buffing the trampler, just in case they somehow find blocks that keep them alive here. We can buff the pack leader for 2 more damage. Yep, we got him. Ranger class is just too good. What a card. Pronouns in your gamer tag. I haven't seen that one before. Very helpful. This is not great, as we might not be able to play our creatures. I think we have to mull this. Really needs the green sources. This is not much better, as we don't have a late creature, but don't want to go to 5, so I'll take it and kick the... We'll kick one of the sentinels. We'll draw more creatures. We have to. We're mono green, right? We've got like 30 creatures. Some sort of green-white Magecraft. Alright. Hopefully we can brawl through this Lumimancer before it kills us. Before they brawl through our Sentinel. Dragon's Guard Elite, huh? Dragon's Guard Elite is counters, whereas Lumimancer is just till end of turn, so we should kill the Elite first. And to do that and not lose our Sentinel, we need to Snakeskin Bale, because it's only turn 2, we don't have the snow sources. I don't plan on chumping the Lumimancer, so we might as well attack here. And we are already almost out of gas. Rather unfortunate hand, but these Magecraft decks don't usually run that many creatures. Never mind, pack leader is not what I expected here. And that 4/4 we cannot do anything about with our Sentinel. Luckily we find Ranger's class to do something else. And we need to get the counters before we can use this brawl. So we'll power that up. And just take whatever they want to dish out here. Alright, we were not going to remove all of their creatures, with 4 very strong ones here. And they've got to either have a land or a green spell. Yep, there's the Blizzard Brawl. I think we're done here. There's nothing we can do to get through all 3 of these. Decent hand on the play. No 1-drop, but we'll got plenty of gas. Triad. Don't usually see that in mono green, so I expect they are some sort of ramp. Simic, yes. Yeah, don't attack into the 3/3. You don't want that. Definitely not using a Blizzard Brawl on this Dryad, as they're just going to sacrifice it. Yep. I think we go for the second pack leader, so we can draw 2 next turn, hopefully. Yep, Cultivator, that can take the brawl. Might find something more efficient to do off our 2 draws here, so let's take them before committing to the Ranger class. might need the Mammoth for land next turn, so I don't really want to play that as a creature. Let's just get another pack leader down. That seems good, right? 3 2-mana 3/3s that draw cards whenever they attack. Our opponent, though they have ramped twice, are still a turn away from a Cyclone Summoner, which I imagine is their endgame. Let's see. If they're going to do that anyway, is there any point to playing our Rangers class? Not a lot. They'll just block whatever one we put the counter on anyway. Let's see what we get from our draws first. Let's see, did I miss lethal? That would be 4, 10, 12 if we used the Blizzard Brawl and powered one up. So no, did not miss lethal. See, the Professor is not a wizard, so does not play around the Cyclone Summoner. But in case they don't have it and they try to do something else, we should do something here. What will it be? Let's go for the Professor. They might have a counterspell here. If they do not, learn. I think we're in Mascot Exhibition territory here. Only need one more land to do it. Yep, there's the Cyclone Summoner. Let's see. We can kill it if we Mammoth double Blizzard Brawl, or Professor double Blizzard Brawl. If we Mammoth and double Blizzard Brawl, we have 1 mana left over, which doesn't actually do anything for us. I think we might as well use the Blizzard Brawls, because otherwise we just have to discard everything. We'll use the Mammoth. We might find something else to learn for later. We have to get through this 7/7 somehow. And discard 1, I think. We'll want the land drop for next turn. Is it just the Mascot Exhibition? Or one of the pack leaders? I think we'll drop off a pack leader. Have they got a second one? Not just yet. Play the untapped land. Right, yeah, because then we can Mammoth and Professor, which seems pretty good. I don't want to run Mascot Exhibition into a possible counterspell. Okay, bounces. Or we could Chariot and Mammoth, which might be better. This Chariot is much more resilient to bounce spells. Okay, divides. Probably get their own Mascot Exhibition. Yep. If they commit to that, that means they don't have another Cyclone Summoner ready. Cultivator. 5 mana left. We do still have use for all the mana we can get. Let's see, they don't have enough land to power up and block with this, right? Yes. So we'll go to combat first. See what they can do about this 5/5. Takes it. Interesting. Let's try a Chariot. It's known information. So, if they have anything other than Cyclone Summoner or Epiphany, this should be plenty. But just in case, I think we go for the pack leaders. Ranger class doesn't do that much for us here. Let's divide by 0, sure. They have Containment Breach to deal with the Chariot. That's fine. I think we still just go for a pack leader. Then they have 4 blockers with Mascot Exhibition plus the Cultivator. We have 4 attackers, and we can give the pack leader Trample. But 2 of their blockers will have 4 toughness, and they top deck the Cyclone Summoner. That's unfortunate. So here, I think we go for the Mascot Exhibition. Right? Or can we go wider, more efficiently? So we can either Mascot Exhibition plus Sentinel, or we can pack leader, Ranger class plus Sentinel. Or we can Mammoth, pack leader, Sentinel. I think that's actually our best bet. The pack leaders can get Trample, so they can get through the Mascot Exhibition blockers more effectively. So we have 4 attackers now. They will have 5 blockers. Do I have anything I can learn for that solves these problems? We can get Expanded Anatomy to buff a Trampler. But if it's not a flyer, they'll just block it with their 7/7. But we are still at 20, and they are on top deck mode. So we should have a pretty good shot here. If we Expanded Anatomy the Mammoth, they have to trade their Summoner or give us a 2-for-1. That's not great. See, we have 9 mana now, yeah? So we can Mascot Exhibition and Ranger class. That is the most effective way to go wider than our opponent here, so that's the choice I'm going to make. I actually have 10 mana, forgot about the Sentinel, but I think this is fine. I want to hold the Mammoth so we guaranteed to have a land drop anyway. They can also block with their Hall of the Storm Giants, can't forget that. But we currently have 3 more bodies than they do, so they're going to have to top deck something good. And they do not. We got them. I think the only things that get them out of there are Epiphany or a 3rd Cyclone Summoner, since we just have a lot of trample and too many bodies for them to deal with.